The mob votes final video is out, and Java Edition is getting a new version 1.20.3, which we'll take a look at what will all be in this version. Hello there, Ray here. Let's first take a look at this new video by Minecraft talking about the Minecraft live event and the mob vote.
I told you we would have an adventure.
And we found the mobs that want to join Minecraft.
I met a penguin that's quick in the water, but a little clumsy on land. They're super friendly and help my boat go faster, so I made it here on time.
I met a crab. They live in mangrove swamps, and their claws can help players place blocks further away.
Wait, where is Tiny Jens?
I can't wait to tell everyone about the armadillo. Its scute can be used to craft special armor for your pet wolf.
Which mob do you want to join Minecraft? You'll have 48 hours to cast your vote for the crab, the armadillo, or the penguin, starting October 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The winner will be announced at Minecraft Live on October 15th.
As I predicted, all the tiny people then congregate together before going into Minecraft Live. You can see Tiny Boo as well as Tiny Agnes, which they both talk about the mob that they came across. You notice the penguin here is having trouble walking on land, and every once in a while he tries to flap like he's trying to actually fly, even though penguins can't fly. There's a sign saying Minecraft Live is this direction, and it says a shortcut to that direction. So the shortcut was actually in the opposite direction of where the Minecraft Live even was. Also, where it says Minecraft Live, the actual live part is a different type of text. This is where the majority of it's shaded in, and then parts that are not shaded in, you can read it. I'm not sure if you can actually do this in survival. Maybe if you use like the alt code, you can make kind of different symbols and stuff, and maybe some of them are these shaded in letters. If you know the answer, let me know. There's also a bunch of cherry blossom trees in the background, and we got some nice little lampposts. And we see that Tiny Jens is still taking his boat across the savannah, where he talks about the armadillo and its properties. So then all the tinies head off to the Minecraft Live event, and Tiny Jens actually eventually catch up, and they all take off. In the beginning, they also show this little house here, which I think is actually a pillager outpost. Kind of has the same like overhang, or it could be where like the Minecraft Live event's at. So now that we know what all three mobs are going to be up for vote, the crab with its extra reach claw, the armadillo with its dog armor scutes, and the penguin with its fast boat abilities. All three of them do have their pros and cons. I think out of the three of them, the worst one is probably the dog armor, just because it can't be used in endgame as much as the other two. As cool as the speedy penguins are, I think they are in second place, just because when it comes to the crab's claw, it's just so amazing. I think a lot of people don't realize what all the potential is when it comes to being able to reach farther in Minecraft, as it's unlikely for them to just make it so that you can place blocks far, because you could just accidentally misplace, put in a block really far, and then not be able to actually break that block, which means the claw would have to be able to place and break blocks at a greater distance. And if it gives even an extra block reach, it's definitely going to be noticeable and useful for anybody playing Minecraft, to the point where you get so used to it, you'll be kind of annoyed when you don't have it. I kind of notice this when I'm playing in creative, having that little extra further bit of reach. When I'm playing in survival, it just seems like all of a sudden I just can't reach as far. And since the whole claw reach is all around the player inventory and placed in blocks, I'll probably also force them to reanalyze the whole inventory management and encouraging more quality of life updates rather than just coming out with straight up features. Because the claw is definitely more of a quality of life, where the other two are just more of just additional features. People always say that they want quality of life. Now is the time to actually vote for quality of life, and it will also have some really cool uses within automated farms. As I talked about in this video, we're discuss all the uses for not only the crab claw, but the armadillo scute and the penguin ice boats. And I used my over 14 years of playing the game to point out all the different uses they could potentially have. I'll have those videos linked below. You can check them out after this one. But overall, it's definitely going to be a tough one to choose between the three of them. I'll be putting a poll out on my community tab, so make sure you guys are subscribed with the bell notification turned on, and then we can see which one you guys will actually vote for. Because I know a lot of my viewers have actually been playing the game for a while and are more into the technical aspects of it. Speaking of technical things, Java also got a brand new snapshot, which is 23W48. This is the very first snapshot for the upcoming 1.20.3 version. 1.20 was the major update, and then 1.21 fixed some major bugs that were in the previous version, and then 1.20.2 fixed minor as well as major issues. But they're going to continue fixing bugs by starting up another batch of snapshots, which will eventually come out with the full release of 1.20.3. The biggest changes about this snapshot are the bug fixes, but let's first look at some changes to the chat components. Now messages sent over chat are being serialized, so it makes it easier for them to be transported over the network. This just means that they simplify everything that's being said in chat, so it can be transported and reassembled on the other side, Recently we've seen them change it so that armor stands can be destroyed by wither skulls, even when hit from the top, which I was using for wither cages and much more. You can check out that video after this one, I'll link it down below. So with Datapack's most recent version 19, they added it so that there is a special tag so that things can be actually damaged the same way armor stands can be. They also have one where you can change it so that entities can actually breathe underneath the water so they don't drown. But there was a weird bug where shields weren't actually blocking things that were coming straight at the player from above if the player was facing straight upwards blocking. So you'll now be able to block arrows if they come raining down from above. Despite when red sand came out, it said that this red sand would act just like a normal sand, but they admitted that it wasn't working for concrete, which was a bug that they should fix. Well, they finally decided to actually fix this bug. So when before you could only use normal sand to craft the concrete, you can now also use red sand. At very large distances when going into a nether portal, the game would actually miscalculate where to place the player once sent over to the nether. This was due to how nether portals calculate coordinates at large distances being inaccurate, but was fixed in today's snapshot. They also nerfed the Mending enchantment, which normally when you collect XPs will also repair the durability of the piece that has it. So notice we have a chest plate which has 20 durability removed, and we have another one with the exact same case. And if you hold onto both of these, well, we give ourselves some XP. So we'll give our XP orb of 11. For every XP orb, it repairs 2 durability, so that means 11 should give us 22 damage repair total between the 2 of these armor pieces. But what it was doing is taking the XP orb, which could repair 22 of them, it would repair this one a total of 20, getting it completely full. That means there would only be 2 XP orb left to repair this one, but it wasn't just using those 2 XP orb, it was looking at the entire XP orb and its size before it was ever used, meaning I think it could repair 22 durability on this one as well. And what would end up is both mending pieces would get repaired. This was actually a bug, so now when you take an XP orb, it will completely repair one of them, and then it will start repairing the second one, but just a little bit, instead of it completely repairing it. Now this bug was only introduced more recently in 1.19.4. It only applies when one piece gets completely filled and rest XPs go over to the next, so it's not a big nerf. Barrier blocks are normally invisible to look at, except when you hold them, then they show up. Notice that they rotate when the player rotates. That's because these things are actually particles, and having your particles set to minimal will cause the barriers to actually vanish, despite you still holding one in your hand. But they now change this so that even if you have the minimal amount of particles in the game, you can still see barriers. And the creative only light block also now works the same way. Although I do wish there was another particle option which you can turn off all particles, meaning absolutely everything, just for people who have really poor PCs, they don't have the computer bogged down by all the particles which happen all the time around the player. Would you guys like an off option? You can make your own custom spawners by a mob spawner and just right click it on with a spawn egg. The only problem was when using a slime on it, these slime spawners weren't actually producing any slime here and were only working inside of slime chunks. This had to do with it still checking the same requirements for slimes down there, but now it actually works. Before we had the ability to use the marker command to set markers, which are just reference points for people using commands. This was done using armor stands with the marker tag. The only problem is they were producing air bubbles like a living thing, which they will no longer do. Beehives and bells will no longer be placed in incorrectly with structure blocks. When set on fire, the player would light up, and when you look into your inventory, you can see this flame, but it was flat, so if you turn a different direction, it's possible to not see any fire on yourself. So now the fire will rotate with you. There's a lot of cool features which you can do with the decorative pots, but one of them is actually using the debug stick on them to change their cracked status. Now this status doesn't actually make cracks in them, but if you look on the right hand side, you can see it's changing from true to false. It's normally false, but if you set it to true, when you break these pots in survival, they make a different noise. So this is a cracked version, and this is a normal one, and then cracked again. You can hear which ones are cracked because they actually make a little more of a cracking noise when broken compared to just the normal ones. But for some reason they removed this in the latest snapshot, as apparently they thought it was an unused feature. But since with cheats it is possible to actually give these pots something inside of them when they are broken down by the player, I thought this cracked feature was used by map makers to make more immersive maps. Do you think they should have kept this cracked noise in? The most common question I get is how do you come up with so many cool things? And the answer is having my own Minecraft world where I can test out all my creative ideas. And you can have your very own Minecraft server for 25% off with the same people that run my servers at Bisect Hosting if you use code RAY or the link in the description. Plus this also helps me out. And if you have time, stop by my behind the scenes live streams and say hello. Thanks for leaving a like on the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!